Penguin Random House Audio presents I Cried to Dream Again. Trafficking, Murder, and Deliverance, a Memoir. By Sara Kruzan. Read for you by January Lavoy. For Summer Rain Justice Kruzan, Zuleika Zuzu Angel Diaz, and all mothers, their daughters, and their daughters. 1. Gigi and I left the movie theater a little after midnight. We found his Jaguar in the parking lot without any trouble. He always parked as close as possible to the entrance of wherever he was going. Plus, you couldn't miss it. Cream-colored with a burgundy leather and wood interior, it was the kind of car that made you feel you'd better sit up straight. People paid attention to that car no matter where we went. Gigi expected his women to look put together. Whenever he picked me up, his eyes would first travel from my hair down to my shoes before he let me get into his car. If he didn't give me one of his lectures, I knew I looked okay. Tonight we matched. He was wearing white leather pants, a white and maroon leather jacket, and a crisp white shirt unbuttoned almost to his belly button. I was only 16 years old, but tall and thin, 5'7" and 110 pounds. I had on a white halter pantsuit and white ankle boots. He mostly wore gold jewelry, long, fine chains, not heavy bling, but tonight I noticed he wasn't wearing any. He liked to think of himself as a classy guy and always dressed in the latest fashion. His hair usually looked like it had been curled but not brushed out, so it would hold its shape. Today it was styled like Ron O'Neill's in Superfly. His big curls were stiff with product. He handed me his wallet as he started the car. I set it beside me on the seat. My purse was in my lap. I was holding on to it so tightly that my hands were sweating. I worried that Gigi might notice, get suspicious, and ask me to open it, and he would see that I was holding it like that because there was a gun inside. I tried to relax my grip and stared out the window, pretending to take in non-existent sights. Nothing was going on at this hour. Most people were home, fast asleep. It was a warm night, but the AC was on full blast. I was shaking on the inside from nerves, and on the outside from the cold air. The movie we watched was Blue Chips, starring Nick Nolte and Shaquille O'Neal, but I couldn't tell you the plot. At one point, I went to the restroom to call Johnny, my boyfriend, after he paged me. I had forgotten to take my purse and had left it on my seat. When I returned and saw it there, I nearly fainted, but Gigi was engrossed in the action on the screen. I sat back down and spent the rest of the movie trying desperately to relax. My mind was racing, my heart pounding. After the movie, Gigi opened the Jaguar's door. He was so tall that he had to bend and fold his long legs to get into the driver's seat. I was quieter than usual that night, psyching myself up for what I had to do. Usually, Gigi and I didn't talk much anyway. The only time he really talked to me was when he was preparing me for sex or giving me his pearls of wisdom. Basically, all men want sex. That's how you please them. They'll wine and dine you, and if you give it to them, they'll be happy, and you'll be happy. If a man marries you, he's investing in you. He's gonna buy you flowers. He'll buy you jewelry and perfume. Your job is to look pretty, smell pretty, and remember what you gotta do to make sure he stays satisfied. He'd go on, and I'd always listen. I didn't care or agree with him, but sometimes he would make me repeat it all back to make sure I was paying attention. As we drove away from the theater, I kept sneaking glances at Gigi, who was steering the Jaguar with relaxed confidence. He parked abruptly and grabbed his wallet. Gigi always had a lot of cash on him. He got out of the car, leaving the key in the ignition, and strode calmly toward a liquor store. He didn't ask me to follow, so I didn't. I was thinking, I hate you. Because I knew that if Gigi was buying liquor, it meant he was planning a lengthy sexual encounter with me. He liked to drink Remy Martin cognac and 7-Up when he was in the mood for sex. It was about 1:30 a.m. when we pulled into the nearly empty Dynasty Suites parking lot. Gigi told me, "Wait here. I'm going to pay for the room." While he was gone, I checked my pager. I opened my purse and saw the .22 Johnny had handed me earlier. The only time I had ever handled a gun before was when my brother had shown me how to shoot his BB gun when we were kids. This one was smaller and lighter. I will never forget the feel of the metal and the weight of it in my hand. Gigi returned and unlocked the trunk, my cue to get out of the car. He pulled out a box, slammed the trunk shut, and said, "I'm going to use this on you tonight," his voice thick with anticipation. It was a Sunbeam 2-speed wand massager, and I knew exactly what that meant. By now, my heart was beating even more furiously than before. Gigi led me to room 115, the honeymoon suite. He'd taken me to that room before. With every step, my dread increased. I was afraid of what he was going to do, and I was afraid of what I was going to do. I followed him inside and heard the door click loudly as he closed it behind him. I sat on the couch. Everything was happening in slow motion. He grabbed the remote and pointed it. The TV flickered on. It was a porn channel, and Gigi raised the volume. A woman was on all fours, doggy style, and a man was straddling her, his penis shoved into her ass. I tried to appear unfazed, wondering if I could do what Johnny's friend, James Earl, had told me I should. My panic rising, I distracted myself by taking mental snapshots of the room. The honeymoon suite was white and red. Red curtains, a white coffee table, a white couch with white pillows, and a big white circular bed on a little platform like a throne. There were mirrors above the bed on the ceiling. To the right of the bed was a red and white checkered, heart-shaped jacuzzi tub set on a square base, with more mirrors above and around it. To the left was the bathroom. There were 2 dressers. The TV was across from the bed, near the door. I noticed that Gigi and I didn't just match each other. We matched the room, and for a second I wondered if that had any significance. The woman on the TV began to moan, then scream, as the man gritted his teeth, squeezed his eyes shut, and grunted, continuing to thrust in and out of her forcefully, seemingly with no end in sight. As I sat politely, quietly, bracing myself for the pain Gigi would inflict, I thought about the way I had been treated by the adults in my life. Adults were responsible for the lack of care and attention, the sexual and emotional abuse, the disrespect, and for the resulting lack of trust I had developed. That night, as I sat wondering whether I had the courage to pull the trigger, I was thinking about the foul refuse that adults, including Gigi, had piled on me without any regard to its effect. "Want a drink?" Gigi asked, as he poured cognac into a plastic cup. He was not looking for an answer. He knew I rarely drank. I mostly stayed away from weed, too. By then, I had learned how to numb myself without booze or drugs. "This shit has gotta stop," I repeated to myself in my mind. "This shit has gotta stop." I was thinking of everything and nothing. I was both there and not there. He took his shirt off and said, "Are you comfortable?" I nodded and tried to smile. I took my shoes off, but kept my purse in my lap. He topped off his drink. I knew what was coming. It had happened over and over by now, and every single time, I hated it. Gigi had a sadistic streak.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?